What it do, chooms? Welcome back to Space JB. I am your Beyond the Black Wall peeking, Omega level net running, and Cyberpunk's new It Girl, Space So Me, and thank y'all for clicking this video. The sneaky, deceptive, and pretty Nova devs, I'd hang out with them, especially Gabriel Montangelo. Wait. I'm supposed to be mad about this topic. Telling us desperate cybernauts that the Phantom Liberty expansion and the big 2.0 patch was all that we were going to get for Cyberpunk 2077, while all along keeping secrets.
Secrets are no fun. Secrets hurt someone.
Though most of you took this news on the chin and were fine with it, especially for the newcomers that just started the game as of recently, for us day one fans, we were non-verbally concerned that after 3 years, there was going to be no more added content for us Night City mercs to do. Then the devs at CDPR out of nowhere drops a new 2.1 patch that they're saying was absolute fan service, and now stating that this will be the final bit of content for the game. And in this video, I am going to talk about why I feel this could be a very bad idea. So without further ado, let's cook up these engines and let's take off.
I wouldn't be alive if it wasn't for you.
Since the launch of patch 2.0 and Phantom Liberty, Cyberpunk 2077 has been making major waves again, as fans are reintroduced to a damn near perfect version of the game. The expansion is even nominated for a Game Award, and this is all coming off the back of the original launch. And we all know how that went. Yeah, it wasn't the best, and with all the promises and the trust that we had in them, it was kind of like the first time you realize your grandma has fake teeth is when she accidentally, spits them out on your plate. Though, for PC, the game was actually pretty decent, and thanks to the modding community and the dedicated dev team that stuck with this game despite all of the backlash, because of their passion, their vision for the game, and their love for their fans, they undoubtedly kept this game from going underwater. After years of patches and fixes, we faithful yet critical and crazy cybernauts watched how this game just got better and better. The deets on these patches all range from gameplay fixes, crashing issues, to literally rebuilding the world of Cyberpunk around the player. If you take a look at the 1.3 patch list, they're damn near fixing the entire game. Look at this nonsense. With Night City slowly starting to resemble the game we were originally promised, Cyberpunk started to get their confidence back, working on something in the background right under our noses. And I can honestly sum it up in 2 words for you: Cyberpunk Edge Runners. Not only did this anime burst on the scene and become, in my opinion, one of the best animes ever, it gave us one of the most authentic and vibrant depictions of Night City, with some chill-ass characters to boot, with David Martinez leading the pack and becoming one of the most iconic protagonists in such a short period of time. Also, it increased the lore of the overall universe of Cyberpunk, and that's within the game itself. It gave all of us old and a lot of new fans a reason to pick up the game and dig deep into the project once again. PC copies were still being sold while the creative team were working on keeping the console versions from flatlining on the market. Not all chooms could afford a capable PC, and the PS5 shortage made getting one of them bitches as difficult as trying to capture a mythical creature. On the other end of the spectrum, the game was being trashed, and I'm talking violently, and it goes much deeper than a damn Sov oil rig, my choombas. Just a couple weeks after the launch of Cyberpunk 2077, CDPR would have a class action lawsuit filed against them by their investor. They were pretty heated and feeling misled about what was told that the state of the game would be in by the time it was launched. And again, we all know how that shit went. The lawsuit was recently settled and it cost them a pretty penny. All the info is out there for y'all to look into. And with all that said, in 2022 still managed to sell 18 million copies. And y'all already know I ended up buying 2 copies of the game, cause I had the PS4 version because I didn't have a PS5 at the time. So I was dealing with all the glitches and I still went and bought the PC version. I actually built my PC just so I could play the game. I, just like many of you who stuck around, knew the potential the game had. Even though we were given a flawed version, we still felt that we had something in Cyberpunk 2077, and we enjoyed every bit of that something as much as we could. Thanks to the info bros that stayed their asses up night after night, sniffing for any scent of Cyberpunk news, they kept us up to date with anything Cyberpunk, and the modding community was the first to show that the game had way more potential than what it had at launch. And content creators were showcasing their edge running skills, knowledge of the game, and lots of this shit here. YouTubers are absolute rock stars in my book. This is the killer to me. Some folks will play these versions of the game and never know the real struggles that we all went through. What I'm really trying to say is people were still playing and buying copies of the game, including myself. And even with all that, this open world futuristic dystopian RPG, it managed to cheat death just like its polarizing protagonist V. That's some irony. With increasing sales and a steadily growing fan base, Cyberpunk seemed to have escaped the abyss, with talks of a new expansion as well as a major update in patch 2.0 coming down the pipeline, as if it was part of the Secure Your Soul program and was just now being re-sleeved. With all the updates before patch 2.0, at that point I was feeling like we were just about to get the original version of the game. The version of the game that all stemmed from that one line at the very beginning of this all. Coming when it's ready. Word was patch 2.0 was supposed to come in and completely revolutionize the base game. New weapons, cars, more immersive gameplay features, reworking the skill tree, attributes, and cyberware for us fans was a godsend. And to me, this was the start of Cyberpunk 2.0, the literal rebirth of the game. I would have waited these 3 years to get the version of the game that we have today. I would have been waiting like Solomon Reed's ass was waiting by the phone for Myers' call. And I would have been very happy with that, telling myself this is why you wait and do not rush a game, because of this. That's also only coming from a fan's point of view, because I don't know how the money works, how the investing and the timing and when people want their return. I don't know how any of that stuff work. Plus, let's not forget how COVID just threw a monkey wrench into the entire world's program, which caused a lot more chaos than just delaying a game. A lot of employees and game developers lost their jobs during this time, so finding a team adequate enough to take on any project was a feat in itself. Then we have the espionage spy thriller in Phantom Liberty, shout out to my dad, and this gave us the dense and dangerous streets of Dogtown, which is one of the coolest places to visit in Pacifica. We also got a host of new characters from Kurt Hansen, Song So Mi, Alina Xenakis, as well as President Myers, and to add on top of this list, all of us players were finally given access to the infamous Relic skill tree, which none of us have had the ability to use up to this point. And being presented with this amazing espionage style spy thriller of an expansion that gave us so much more to the world of Cyberpunk was the upgrade the community supporting the game and the CDPR devs needed. We just ate it up like a pack of moon cheese because it was a lot of the things we've ever asked for as fans. There are some of us, including myself, that may have asked for some gonk-ass features to be added to the game. Who hasn't? Who hasn't? In my opinion, the events after September 23rd showed a few things to me as a big fan of Cyberpunk like most of you. And these are that Cyberpunk has some die-hard fans. Even after we were kinda lied to, it showed that we fans were and are forgiving to CDPR and the events that led up to it being Gomi. So forgiving, in fact, that we were willing to burn scratch on the expansion not knowing if we would get burned again. No matter my frustrations, each time I linked up and dove into the game, the same words always juiced me up, and we all said them along with them.
Good morning, Night City!
To start a new day as our version of the Mercenary V. Those are also the same reasons it was more heartbreaking back then to see the game in those states versus what we were sold on. Your boy Space is starting to feel like I'm sounding like a damn chopped and screwed tape, just repeating the same lines about this game. Yes, patch 2.0 did give us the best version of the game to date, and Phantom Liberty expansion is something that once you play it, will understand why it is being praised.
It practically turned Idris Elba into a bona fide cyberpunk god in the eyes of the fans.
This game still has so much more potential,
And with the devs at that point saying that that was going to be all, it had me asking the big question that sparked this video. Why then would the devs say that 2.0 would be the last major patch for Cyberpunk? They recently stopped adding things to the old gen consoles to now turn and say you all get nothing new?
that was just as devastating as the look on Reed's face when he realized he was betrayed by So-Mi.
With this game just starting to see more success, and a big part of that was due to the various patches the game has received, this game is just getting started. We could have so much more that could be added into Cyberpunk to grow the community. People love the dystopian, futuristic, violent, chaotic, and beautiful world that is Cyberpunk. And this game could follow the path of patching its way to being one of the best RPGs ever made. And then, as if I was lucid dreaming, we get news that a 2.1 patch is on the horizon and was going to be dropped soon after it was announced, and that this 2.1 patch was going to provide a lot of fan-serviced features that we've been asking for all along. And they were kinda right. Just to save you Chumbadas a bit of time, I won't go over my thoughts on the entire list. I would just point out a couple things that I thought were really awesome. One being obviously the metro station. In-cart is now functional and available for console players. It was modded into the game if you had a PC and you got the mod a while back after the launch, and modders were really just tweaking it, and it gave us a really cool way to traverse Night City. Now to have that available in the console version of the game, to me, I can't tell you how happy I am to see this thing make its way into this. The original trailer to the game opened up with V starting off on a train to this big panoramic view of the city. It was one of the dopest shots I've ever seen, and then to not have use of that was kind of a letdown when the game launched. Having that now, I, as a person who plays for the full immersion that I kind of live my life in Night City just like many of you do. This feature is probably one of my favorites because I don't like to always just drive my car around. I like to walk and take the city in, and having this ability to sit on the train and just kind of people watch immerses me a lot more in the game. I'm a Night City merc. Maybe people know of me, some people don't, but on this metro station, I could be a legend and a nobody all at once. Another feature that's coming in from the 2.1 patch that makes me very happy and adds another layer to the immersion that I crave when it comes to playing Cyberpunk 2077, and that's radio port. Having the ability to listen to your favorite jams while anywhere in Night City, I'm telling you that there is another immersive feature that has blown the topic that I'm trying to discuss wide open. Things like that makes a lot of sense to me, and it keeps this game alive. It keeps the blood pumping for the Cyberpunk fans. Having something that can continue to immerse you where it feels like you put your headphones in Cyberpunk or activate any of your audio tech, any of your audio augmentations to listen to your favorite jam while walking around, while shooting your guns. With people still picking up copies of the game, adding little patches like this is only going to increase its replayability and longevity. I took away so many things from the 2.1 patch stream, yet I noticed that the creative team and devs kept reusing one word, and that was immersion. And y'all know how I feel about that. And things like this are exactly the right steps that Cyberpunk is taking towards increasing the level of immersion into an already great game, and could also solidify and give it its flowers as being one of the best overall open world RPGs ever made. Another thing that I want to talk about, and I know that a lot of you are thinking, man, those boss battles with Atom Smasher, that's so awesome that they increased those things. I do think that that's pretty cool. Yet, after you kick Atom Smasher's ass, there's still a lot of merkin and Night City living to be done, and having your partner be able to come and hang out with you adds more of a soft element to your merc life. I love shows like Altered Carbon where love, even in a world that's so chaotic and crazy, still has a place, and having that connection and partnership. Call me a softie if you want, yet I enjoyed those type of things after kicking a whole lot of ass, blowing up a lot of people, and sending a lot of gonks to the columbarium. You need something to kind of soothe your achy bones. And that could be in the form of any of the partnerships you take. I hope that they could expand more on these type of things. They don't necessarily have to add more relationships, but they can add more dynamics and features to the relationships that you already have. But adding things to the game to make this more of an immersive and open world is something that CDPR is capable of doing. Why would we just stop? I feel that this game still has so much more room to be expanded on. It can take as much time as it needed, and dare I say, I would be willing to pay for other expansions. Once again, I'm not talking about a microtransaction store. I don't want to pay for individual cyberware upgrades. I don't want to pay for clothing items. I don't want to pay for individual car items. I would rather pay for complete packaging and updates that add more to the world itself versus just giving me certain things a bit at a time, or the more that I pay, the better my player is. I don't want to be able to advance V due to paying more money. I don't need a game that really replicates GTA to the fullest, and having that made it a little bit chaotic. I would love to expand and be able to create teams within the NPCs that are already in Cyberpunk, or you can add a few more mercs that are traveling to Night City that are trying to do certain missions, and you team up with them as a netrunner, you team up with them as the muscle or whatever it could be, and they use your skills that you've built for your character as part of their mission, and this is part of the expansion, or these are part of the things that you can do. And with GTA recently showcasing its glory, open world RPG developing teams only have two things in mind, or I'm guessing they do, and that could be either rush the game or wait for a bit. With the hype of GTA already putting it at the top of most gamers' lists, Cyberpunk can take advantage when other studios panic, knowing all they have to do is keep updating the game and adding small to large features to the game over time, keeping it relevant. To me, that's one of the big things, is holding on to Cyberpunk's relevancy. This game is starting to pick up a lot more momentum after everything it's already went through, and to kind of say, all right, after 2.1, we're gonna be done. We gotta work on The Witcher 4, and we gotta work on the next Cyberpunk. I can honestly wait years for Cyberpunk. We've been waiting for so long for GTA 6 to just showcase us a minute and some change of content. I can wait a while before the next Cyberpunk, and this also may have people unsubscribing right now. With my love for Cyberpunk, I don't care about The Witcher right now. What the fuck? I could care less. I love that they're working on it, and shout out to the dev teams that are actually going to be kicking ass and making that game one of the best games around. But me personally, I could give two
fabulous
about The Witcher 4. I want more Cyberpunk 2077, and I would love if they just dedicated a small team that still cared and loved the game, and you know, they can even hire me to come in and do some voice acting or whatever the hell it may be. But I would love for them to continue to add content to this game, because that will be one of the biggest tests that Cyberpunk can do, to showcase that it wasn't just something that was waiting on all of this money and this time. Just give us a little bit more of Cyberpunk and then say, all right, we're done with you guys. No, we love you, we love the game, give us more of the game. And I mean, like, the game, if it's cut off, could spell the end of Cyberpunk's future. Riding the hype it's created to add more to the already amazing world, I think would be the better move. And potential heavy-hitting competition is on the horizon, and I fear that if Cyberpunk relies solely on its Phantom Liberty success and the success of patch 2.0, it's going to fizzle out sooner than later. And that right there would be devastating to me, because who knows how long we have to wait before we have a new Cyberpunk announcement. We could get a lot of things over time that we haven't had and were promised that we still don't have. And I mean, like, I'm talking like that casino that was abandoned that we never got. I still don't even see any of the augmentation animations that they were talking about for the 2.0 patch. And maybe your boy Space has some separation anxiety. Maybe I found the one game that I truly have immersed myself into and I'm falling in love with. But I also have to say, after seeing what I saw at the Game Awards, there are some other games that pique my interest, and I don't want Cyberpunk to fall behind. As a content creator who has based his channel off of Cyberpunk's content. I hope that this game can stay relevant so that my channel and myself can still find more reasons to fall in love and play the game. I already have a lot to do in the game, yet if you continue to update it, because how far away is Cyberpunk 2? We have no idea, but if we're gonna say stop adding anything new to Cyberpunk now, that is gonna be a long wait before we have anything that's brand new or making people want to pick up Cyberpunk again. You can do a patch or a few patches like every quarter, every few months, every like 6 months, and I think that would do way more for this game than just to say, hey, thank you guys for all the support. We love y'all. We appreciate you for keeping our game from dying and buying more into the game. And now we are gonna close the curtain on it and say, that's it. 4-year lifespan, Cyberpunk has way more to offer. And maybe y'all disagree, but I'd love to hear what y'all all think in the comments below. And it's been a while since I said this, but once again, I get to leave it up to you, my chooms, because finally, space has come back to YouTube. But I leave it all to y'all in the comments below. Let me know what y'all think. Am I out of pocket thinking Cyberpunk could die after this patch? Or am I onto something thinking that Cyberpunk could patch this game continuously up till the point of the new Cyberpunk, or up to the point where it could become basically replacing GTA 5? Like, it would be Cyberpunk 2077 and GTA 6 as some of the best open world RPG games that would be available during that time. Let me know what y'all think in the comments below. I'd love to hear from each and every one of y'all. Thank y'all so much for your patience and sticking with your boy Space. I'm back and I can't wait to continue to bring content to you all. I have been going through a whole host of things. We're not gonna get into that right now. Yet, if y'all like this video, please go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. That way y'all don't miss out on any of my Cyberpunk content, because I got a big surprise coming back for y'all. If y'all are fans of me and have stuck around and kind of peeked around my page, I was doing an old project that I'm getting ready to bring back for Cyberpunk, and I can't wait. Always remember, guys, whatever you're passionate about, do your best to not give up. Sometimes you got to take a step back, reanalyze everything, reorganize yourself, and then you got to go back in there and get in the trenches. And then there are things and times where it's just not working out for you and you may have to walk away. But if you feel it in your soul that it's the right path for you to be going down and it brings you more joy than it brings you discord, then stick with it. There are going to be some ebbs and flows. You're going to have to sometimes be in the wake versus being at the peak. But if you can sustain through those hard times and persevere, you will be where you want to be. It's already aligned for you, it's already out there for you, and your boy Space is doing nothing but supporting and motivating and wishing the best for y'all out there. So take care of yourselves. Remember, spread as much love as you possibly can, and when you feel those frustrating moments, go ahead and boot up your console, whether it's your PC or your Xbox. It does not matter, because there are plenty of gonks that need to be zeroed in Night City. Let's go ahead and end transmission, and I'm out. Peace.